You ever want to just say fuck it and go for it? That's what I did. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how I took a leap of faith, quit my job with no backup plan whatsoever, and just went for it. What's going on, you guys? It's Eric McAvoy here with your road to financial freedom. And today's episode, we're going to talk about how I quit my job with no backup plan and what I'm doing to ensure long-term success. As I'm sure you guys remember, I did have my previous job over at Gold's Gym, and the hour-long commute sucked. The people I worked with were not my favorite. The job itself was not super fun. Overall, I was getting drained. I was not being challenged anymore. It was not the best work environment. I wasn't learning anymore. I capped my earning potential, and overall, it was just not somewhere I saw myself for the long term. And thing after thing started to pile up. Little things started to happen more and more. Work just got more and more frustrating, and I finally one day just rolled over in bed and said, you know what, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And I put in my 2-week notice, requested paid time off or PTO for that 2 weeks, and was immediately let go. So quit the job with nothing officially lined up. I pretty much just gave myself a week's worth of time to say that I promised myself I will have a job by the end of this week. And that's kind of where we are. I know we've been talking, and my plan was to work that job at Gold's until January, ride it out until then. In the meantime, be applying for online jobs, land one of those, and then use that to be able to move down to St. Petersburg, Florida. But given the mental strain at Gold's, I was not in a position to maintain that for 3 or 4 more months. So I just pulled the plug and quit. In doing so, I put myself in a situation that I know I talk about quite a lot, whether it be on my YouTube channel or in person, but it's putting yourself in a zero options mentality, which, I talk to my friends about, and I mainly hear from Andy Frisella over at First Form. But basically, with the zero options mentality is you put yourself in a position where you only have one option. There's no backup plan, there's no plan B or plan C. You've got one plan, that's the only thing you're gonna do, and because of the situation you're in, you're essentially forcing yourself to have to succeed at that one thing. Because if you give yourself the option to cop out or to back out or to do something else because it's easier or safer, odds are you're going to do that plan B. And in reality, you're not going to push yourself to achieve that main goal that you have set. With that, it's I'm not going to lie, it's a little stressful because I've got 2 mortgages to pay, car payment. I do enjoy food, so I have to feed myself. I've got electricity to pay for. I've got Wi-Fi. All these different bills that I have to pay. And in order to do that, gotta have an income. So quitting and not having an income is definitely a risk, but going, like I was saying, putting yourself in that situation with the zero options mentality, forcing yourself to succeed because that's the only choice you have, is the route I've taken. Again, taking the leap of faith, really just putting myself out there and saying, fuck it. So with this, again, not only am I focused on being able to pay the mortgages and my car payment and, my Wi-Fi bill and whatnot, but I'm also really putting myself in the mindset of I need to succeed for my future self, my future family, future kids, long-term stuff, being able to film myself so you guys can smash that like button, and of course buying myself more steak dinners. Those are all other little things that I'm putting in the back of my mind as far as why I need to succeed. Of course, the more pressing issue right now is my grocery bills and whatnot, but being able to succeed today for, again, my future self and my future family, etc., is one of the main drivers behind pushing myself to be able to try different avenues, apply for different jobs, break Indeed's server with all my applications that I'm firing out, and just, annoy employers until someone responds to me with a job request. So those are, again, the main motivations that I've been using. And again, if you have not seen the video on defining your why, I'll link that above. Be sure to go check that out because that's really helpful in situations like this if you find yourself in one similar to me, but also just, again, in this long-term journey of achieving financial freedom. One of the things I've been thinking about a lot is a quote that's something to the tune of, a lot of times in life, something good holds you back from something great. So the situation I was in at Gold's was quote unquote good. I had a decent paid salary, especially for being in the fitness industry. It was an easy job. I was successful at it. The company liked having me around. I could pay my bills. There's really nothing to complain about. And from the outside looking in, it looked like a really great scenario, especially, given my age, another factor to look at. But I know personally, I'm capable of a lot more than just being a fitness manager at a gym, earning, slightly above the US median salary. I've really had to take a look at myself and say, okay, is this really all I'm capable of, or can I actually achieve more? Can I, achieve that greatness that we all seek, and can I buy that Lamborghini? Because you know what? A gym salary is not going to buy you a Lamborghini, and I have 3 years to do that. So I got to really, pedal to the metal and figure something out, because that's coming up quickly, and I got to figure that out. So all in all, guys, takeaway wise, what I want you to think about is, are you genuinely happy with the situation that you're in? If not, how are you going to change it? And if you feel that you're not changing it because you're complacent or you're comfortable or you're, quote unquote, just feeling okay with where you are, should you put yourself in the position where you have to succeed and you don't have that thing as a backup plan? Because I knew for me, working at the gym was a safety net. I knew I always had it, for the most part. It's never really a position I had to worry about succeeding in, because I had been trained up and I was pretty good at it. So I knew I had my position pretty locked in. But are you in a position where you're genuinely happy with what you're doing, where you're really pushing yourself, pursuing your true potential, and working towards your real end goal? Or are you just being content and complacent with where you are because it's easy and comfortable? I think that if you're not constantly learning something new and constantly challenging yourself and pursuing your greatest potential, then you're really holding yourself back in the long term. And another great quote, again, don't remember where I heard this one, but that I'm thinking about a lot, is hell on earth would be meeting the person that you could have become. I like to think about that a lot. At your deathbed, at the end of your life, imagine you coming to talk to you, but it's the person that you could have become had you pushed yourself and had you really pursued your greatest potential. Because if you're sitting back collecting a salary paycheck that's just easy because it's comfortable, maybe that is the route for you. I just know personally it's not the route for me, and that's not what I want to do. And so I think that's something that we should all reflect on and really think about, and really work towards what you're capable of. I always say play to potential. Don't play to, either expectations or maybe it's budgets or what your parents think or what your friends think, whatever. Don't play to those. Play to your potential. If you know your potential is greater than what you're currently doing, but you're comfortable with what you're currently doing, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you could definitely be doing better. I will keep you guys updated with what happens on the job hunt, because I do have 5 days to figure this out, and it's, kind of high pressure, but I'm confident in my ability to succeed, because again, I have to, so there's not really a choice. And with that, guys, don't forget to comment down below, hit that subscribe button, toss me a blue like, and I will see you guys in the next episode.